called Intel Atom Processor CE4100, formerly codenamed Sodaville. This will be Intel's very first delivery of 45nm generation single chip SoC. It is optimized for IPTV set-top boxes, connected media players such as Blu-ray and PVRs, as well as, of course, digital TVs. You can expect this to be fully backward compatible with the CE3100. You all know that software compatibility is the hallmark of Intel architecture. In fact, we're able to utilize the same platform drivers and foundation software that was running on 3100 directly on 4100 when we first got the silicon back to the fab. It has hardware decode to handle dual stream HD videos, high-end audio capabilities, everything that you need to build very high-end AV system that incorporates such thing as Blu-ray. It has advanced 3D, but we've doubled the clock rate of the 3D graphics engine, effectively increasing the performance of 3D graphics substantially. It also has hardware support for MPEG-4. Also, it's got fully integrated 1080p uncompressed AV capture capability so that you could actually bring in HD videos from outside, whether it's your own private streams or from other external sources as part of your product. It also has an integrated NAND controller for very fast boot directly from memory. It supports DDR2 and DDR3 for great flexibility in product design. So, just 1 year after Intel CE3100 delivery, we're executing on the Moore's Law. We're now gearing up to deliver the next generation CE SoC 4100. As you can see from this comparison, you can see dramatic improvement in the overall size, which has huge implications on the product cycle design and the overall cost of the device. We've been sampling this silicon to a number of OEM partners, and response from the CE industry has been very, very strong. We're clearly delivering on the outstanding and incredible performance and software reuse. We're also delivering on the overall and continuing improvement of the overall BOM cost of the device, which is so important in the CE industry. But the CE SoC is just one part of the overall innovation that is needed. Industry requires innovations across the TV service infrastructure. And no company really knows the end-to-end service infrastructure better than Cisco. So please welcome Malky Monahan, Cisco Vice President of Video Products Strategy, to tell us how Cisco is handling the video demand challenge on the infrastructure. Welcome. Very welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much.
So, what do you think about a little concept demo here? Do you think that's possible to deliver that kind of product in the near future?
Oh, absolutely. This is a progress. We've come a long ways. From our perspective, it's an evolution from the early days of technology to where we are now, building on the experience that we've had in the acquisition of our Scientific Atlanta in 2006, adding, of course, much of our core IP networking capabilities to that, and in addition, really adding very much of a consumer perspective on that. We've acquired Linksys a few years ago, and Flip Digital is the latest acquisition that you've seen. I think you know, Eric, delivering premium video isn't easy. It requires advanced quality of service. It's important to note that we are seeing an amazing move of video to IP networks. We believe based on our studies, in 2013, 90% of all video on the internet will be delivered over IP. Or IP, I should say, IP traffic will be 90% composed of video. So having to add things like intelligent content storage and distribution, much better content protection for IP networks, and compliance with all of those regulatory networks will be very important in this.
So, will this require the providers to change their infrastructure?
Undoubtedly. Another statistic is 60% of all video will be consumed by consumers. 60% of their consumption will be over IP networks. So service providers, of course, have been investing for decades in the traditional architectures, building now onto data. and continuing with us to invest in new technologies like DOCSIS 3.0, enabling 100 megabits per second over the traditional or old coax. We're helping them leverage and update this architecture, whether it's the cable companies, the telcos, or broadcast, with IP in the core and as overlay increasingly as well.
So I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes happening in the video space. So what do you see as the key trends right now, and how do you see that shaping the future?
Obviously, the trends in terms of a huge move of the consumer's experience to the internet, and the content moving itself to being delivered over IP. But there's a lot of fragmentation still in this industry, both in the consumer experience, with different business models being supported by all of the different video content providers. There's also device and screen fragmentation. We don't think exclusively of the TV any longer, but also the PC and the mobile phone. And really, this integration of broadcast video, premium content, and user-generated content is one of the things that's causing the consumer probably some concerns and giving us increasingly new opportunities. Consumers really value a unified experience. That was the original promise that we saw on TV. They want that ubiquitous access to their content, the ability to seamlessly move from the TV to the PC to their mobile phone in the future. And this is going to drive content providers who have compelling content and service providers with better distribution and monetization opportunities to deliver it for them. We can help them bring all of these disparate experiences together in a way that makes it possible for service providers and content providers, and of course, a very important monetization partner, the advertisers, all together in a way that they can increase their revenue and their profit.
I know that Cisco's been making some very big moves in the video space. Give us a little background on Cisco's involvement in the video space.
Well, we've come a long ways. The first moon landing was televised using Scientific Atlanta equipment 40 years ago this summer. It was used for ourselves most recently in the 2008 Olympics, where it was really the first all-IP Olympics where content was being moved from all of the events happening simultaneously in Beijing, edited in New York, and then streaming out to users on the internet across the world who could watch their particular sport of interest, regardless of the time or whether it was being broadcast on one of the major channels or not at that time. So you're going to see us using, and probably us at Cisco, using much more of the term MediaNet to describe that ideal video network, something we introduced last December. And so by evolving networks to a MediaNet, an all-IP next-generation network optimized for this rich media experience, service providers will become experience providers. They're going to use their networks as platforms to offer experiences that are more visual, more personal, more social, and for sure, more interactive. We've had immense success with this innovative approach, and you begin now to see some of the leading leading service providers recently announcing some of their next generation video infrastructure. Publicly, we've talked about opportunities at Sept, Virgin Media in the UK. But remember, Eric, it's not just about infrastructure. Cisco has a long history. We've now delivered over 50 million set-top boxes, digital set-top boxes worldwide.
We like that number.
And over 16 million DVRs shipped today.
So now, speaking about the client, what needs to happen there?
Well, obviously, we're going to have to see clients that really blend that existing broadcast video network and this new IP content networks together. We need to be able to deliver on the experience that you showed, having high-resolution 3D graphics capability, and of course, a really good applications processor. And then really, for real innovation, we have to take our cues from some of the other industries and make sure that we develop that robust developer ecosystem to make sure that they can deliver these great applications and services beyond the imagination that we talked about earlier.